want to welcome everyone to a very special episode of the Spilled Milk Podcast with your boy Only Rans. We got a very special guest in here today. We got the Kaur Movement.
Thank you so
want to
much
introduce
for
yourself?
Yeah, so I'm the founder of the Kaur Movement. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
We focus on survivors of sexual and domestic abuse.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And, it's, you're a very powerful figure within the community. I think you're doing a lot of, God's work. Some people who, I guess, would be the accused would say that you're probably making some stuff up.
Yeah, of course.
And fabricating things like that.
Yeah.
I think, right off the bat, I want to get into that. How does it feel to have, the weight of this responsibility, power, kind of, whatever it is? And is there ever a situation where, you get it wrong?
It's a burden.
Okay, it's a burden.
Yeah.
That's
For
a
me
good way to
right
put it,
now, it is something that was kind of given to me. I feel like it's not something that I planned for.
Yeah.
When it comes to allegations, I've never made a mistake in that sense, especially when it comes to exposing. When we do get cases coming to us, I do look at it and then I give see my own perspective or opinion on the matter. But when it comes to exposing, we have a protocol we follow.
Gotcha.
And if that was ever the case, that's like ruining someone's life.
Absolutely.
To another level. So that's something I take very, very strongly. I would never do something like that. But if I did, I would take accountability.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so have you seen cases where people present some sort of accusation and then you start looking at it and okay, the evidence isn't quite sufficient. This doesn't make sense. No, I'm not going to take it.
Yes.
But how do those people how do those victims per se or perceived victims, how do they handle that?
So let's just say in 1 week, I get 20 plus new cases worldwide.
Wow.
Right? So this is by email. First, our job isn't to expose. That's not our goal. That's only if it's really needed, necessary. And I feel like there's more victims out there. When it comes to saying no to them, when it comes to exposing, it's usually because they're thinking more revenge. And then working on these many cases for these many years, you kind of just know.
Yeah.
When something's going wrong or when we're asking certain questions and how they're responding or if the story's not aligning.
Yeah.
We are more focused on healing. We're more focused on I'm not going to judge you for even maybe let's just say making it up.
Yeah.
But I am going to provide you resources, counseling, or if you do want to go report it, if it's not fake, then we'll help you with that. But yeah, we do get fake cases.
Yeah.
But let's just say out of 100, I probably get 3 or 4 fake cases.
3 or 4 only?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's statistics as well. So in statistics, out of 100 cases, 8 to 9% are fake.
Interesting.
Here in India, it's a little bit different because
Okay.
they do a lot there. It's a little bit different, but here in Canada, that's the statistics.
You're saying in India there's more fake accusations?
Yes, there is.
Interesting.
With the cases that we receive, I don't know what their statistics are, but I remember it being pretty high, and also the cases we get, we notice it as well.
Got it. That's kind of interesting because you would assume India culturally would be a little bit more hush hush about this sort of thing, but I guess if they're already coming to you, then they're kind of past that breaking point anyway.
Yeah, for that in India, usually I notice is it's the both sides. It's their fault.
Yeah.
Dowries involved. Domestic abuse is involved. And when domestic abuse is involved, you're at fault if you just hit the person.
Yeah.
That's it. There's
Absolutely.
no there's nothing that you can possibly say to me that would be hey, oh, she provoked me or whatever.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Guys reach out saying the same thing that it's happened to them as well.
Yeah.
So with them, I would just say that they have no option. They don't have a support system.
Yeah.
So they feel like this is the only place they can share their story. And sometimes they feel like they have to elaborate their story to get them the support that they kind of need.
Got it. So when you're mentioning that you have cases kind of going worldwide, what is that worldwide? So I guess India's there, Canada's there, America would obviously be there, UK would be there.
Yeah. So New York, Australia, Germany, a few in Pakistan.
Germany.
Yeah.
Wow.
Scots. Yeah. Everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah.
We've gotten it all over.
Interesting.
Africa as well.
Africa?
Yeah.
Well, I guess there are, operating and stuff like that in Africa.
I know other.
Oh, other races?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's other races that are now reaching out. Before it was mainly them.
Yeah.
But now Indians, but now it's more other
Absolutely.
people are reaching out as well.
I guess you've kind of, built that base as, a resource for people to go to and,
Yeah.
I guess for whatever reason they would kind of come to you. How'd you kind of get started in this and why'd you Well, you mentioned that, this was kind of placed on you, but like, why'd you choose to kind of continue this and, grow it to what it's been?
I don't think I have a choice on stopping.
Okay.
So that's one thing I would say. Usually don't say this.
Yeah.
It's because if I stop, then who's going to be there
Absolutely.
for these victims, survivors? I know how it felt to be alone. I knew what it was to be suicidal. So being that person and going through it, there's no way I'm gonna step back.
Absolutely.
And honestly, like, there are days that it's like a really shitty feeling.
100%. Yeah.
Like this Jag Bahad case that I'm just doing
We'll
recently.
Get into it.
Yeah, that one. Really draining, mentally
Yeah.
draining. Like, hearing the stories, like, you guys are seeing only like 10%, 5% of cases.
Yeah.
We deal with so many. And when it comes to exposing, I'm only exposing like 5%. If I was to expose everything, it would shatter the community.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is right now. That's how severe domestic abuse in our community is right now. Sexual abuse, all these victims that are coming forward when something happened to them at the age of 8, and how it's like affected their life and relationships. So, and I don't get paid for this. Like, I have a social work background. I graduated from Douglas College. I worked with homeless, disability, seniors, addictions. I've been in the field. However, I changed into RMT, registered massage therapy, and I never thought that I would be starting something like this.
Absolutely.
Right? It was kind of, I was there to share my story, to see if someone would connect with me and I would heal. But in the process of healing myself, it became a movement.
Absolutely. Do you have like a charity component to the movement that like goes towards, I guess, shelters for women or for people of abuse or something like that?
So, like, when it comes to legal fees or anything, when it comes to suing, we get involved with that. All our volunteers, including myself, don't pay each other. Like, we don't pay anything. It's all Seva. So when it comes to money-wise, it's always either for shelter for them. Right now, like, it's been to the point where, like, shelter spaces aren't available. And I really do want to open a shelter, to be honest, just seeing how it is. Because putting victims in a hotel or even at my house is not a good idea.
Absolutely.
So that's where, like, it just becomes like kind of desperate. It just depends on what they need it for. Sometimes it's just food and like just taking care of their kid because they're a
100%.
single mom, or just leaving a domestic abuse situation and having shelter and paying their rent for the first 3 months, let's just say, and getting them on their feet.
Absolutely.
So it just all depends on where the money is going to get used and what it is for. Now that we are becoming an international charity, so hopefully it's been 2 years. We've been trying to become an international charity, and hopefully in May we get good news.
Yeah, good job. Well, I mean, what's the blockades or what's the barriers for something like that?
For an international, so it's worldwide.
Okay.
It's more like you just have more responsibility.
Yeah.
I used to say that I would never bring money into the core movement, but then it
at a certain point to help. I mean, you
like
do,
I
right?
was using my own funds, my own money that I'm making to help in the first like 2 years of the core movement.
Absolutely.
And that drained me financially, and it's just not something that's, that I can do. So then I was like, you know what? We have to apply for grants. Maybe we can start a shelter. Maybe we can have services. Maybe, like, instead of getting discounts from counselors, maybe we'll be able to pay their full fee for their counselors. Yep. So things like that. So counseling is a big thing as well. So when we provide that, we want to give it to the victim for free. So it's not out of their pocket. And for that, we have to pay the counselors the amount. And luckily, like, we have a lot of counselors that do provide services with a discount.
Absolutely. I mean, usually when someone's gone through something like very traumatic, like, like domestic abuse or, the sexual abuse and things like that, how much does the counseling like help them kind of get on their feet and like move on? Or how long does that process take? And like, is there a light at the end of the tunnel, or is it just kind of the damage is done and it just like kind of chips away? And
to be honest, healing is a process that you're going to be dealing with the rest of your life when it comes to this. I've been through it, and I don't see a light in the tunnel where I'm like, oh, now it's all good and I'm healed and I'm fully good to go. Like, if I'm going to be hugging someone, sometimes that triggers me. If I'm like, doing something small triggers me. Imagine me being a sexual abuse survivor.
Yep.
And then now all I hear and listen to is sexual abuse. So that is triggering. And like, look at the people that are reaching out and asking for support and help. If you read those comments or if you read those stories, they say that it's life changing.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, there are going to be ups and downs in healing, but it does help. It gathers your thoughts. It makes you feel like you deserve love, respect, and what you deserve fully, and just like overall healing on what's going to help you. May that be hanging out with friends, may that be counseling, may that be like, you know, whatever strategies work for you. It's more of like coping mechanisms for the rest of your life.
Yeah, provide you some like certain points of like anchor points, I guess, and like how to kind of reground yourself.
Either you stay a victim or you become a survivor eventually, right? And it's really hard to go from the victim stage to a survivor, especially if something like this has happened at such a young age. Yeah. And now it's all of a sudden like, you know, bottling up and coming out now.
100%. I mean, you know, you just mentioned something right there where you said, you're a survivor yourself, and now you're only listening to this kind of stuff. It's like, if you're soaking this in, you're kind of shrouded by negativity all day. Yeah. And, you know, like, as an average human being, you know, you don't want that on you all the time, you know, like it's very draining, it's taxing, you know, you're like, okay, I just need to kind of get away with this. Like, even in like certain conversations when you have a bad day, it sounds like you're listening to the worst days of someone's life. Yeah. Almost every single day. Yeah. How do you galvanize yourself and develop this like thick skin to kind of disassociate from like, or separate yourself from that?
To be honest with cases, I take them very personally. Oh, so every case that comes to me, it's like...
You're internalizing a lot of this.
So for me, it's like, this happened to you, that means it also happened to me. So I'm very, very connected to the person and the individual reaching out. Maybe it's because of my past experience. Maybe that's the support I needed from someone.
And you didn't receive that
at that time. I didn't receive. So for me, it's very personal. Gotcha. Another thing is, I don't know how to explain it, but when I did start the platform and when I changed the name from Hush Hush to the Kaur Movement, I would just say, like, even if I'm going to go to sleep crying over a case, in the morning, I just have the same energy to continue. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it. I've never had it before. I've never been this strong before. I've never felt so empowered before. When your voice is taken away from you and then all of a sudden you're given it back, it's like a...
Or you've taken it back.
Yeah, or I've taken it back. Yeah. It's just something that I feel like I don't even have control over. I'm actually a very happy individual. Yeah. I go to comedy shows. I do laughter yoga. I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm a normal Surrey girl. Yeah. Yeah. So for like, even the people that I'm close to, they'll be like, we're so shocked that you run the Kaur Movement. Yeah. You're like a comedian, or you're so funny.
Yeah.
And
you
all
know
of
what?
That.
I did actually, I found out when we first spoke, or, whatever it was, I was like, okay, like, she's not as uptight as I thought.
Everyone says that. Everyone says I'm uptight or stuck up.
Justifiably so. Like, you would be uptight because, like, okay, this is like some serious stuff. Like, I better watch my jokes or whatever, right? But like, no, you come off like very warm, and it's like you're very like kind of almost like relaxed about the like the cases and the subject matter that you speak about.
I have very dark humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like when you're dealing with something so serious all the time, your humor is really dark.
Absolutely.
So yeah. I actually have to sometimes filter myself
out. Yeah. I guess you can't make the jokes to the
victims. Exactly. But I do have it with my friend circle.
Oh, you got beaten up. What? Was his lunch cold? That's a joke.
I shouldn't have laughed. Oh my God. But yeah, like seriously, it's like you're dealing with this 24/7. You get numb to it. Yeah. Like, how else are you going to survive? How else are you going to be happy in your life? Or like, if you're taking everything so like to heart. I do take the cases to heart, and a lot of people say that's not healthy. But for me, it hasn't affected me yet. Absolutely. Yeah, I burn out. Like now I'm doing like cases that are kind of coming out and more public. And it takes years to get to that. Like even like the case that we're going to talk about, it took 1 year to gather all this information.
Because you got to build that up, make sure you got it right.
Yeah, and
make
then
sure it's not a one-off. Like it just like
And especially the Granthi, the preacher that I recently did. Oh my God, I've been waiting to do that for like 2.5 years.
Yeah, and we'll get into that one too, because that's like more of like a political issue rather than everything else. Right?
Oh, just something else, man. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, that's a little bit creepy, but no. So like, do any of these cases, like, do they affect, like, would your husband say that this has affected your guys' relationship in any way, shape, or form, or? Like, I'm sure you have some bad days where you're, maybe you're bitching at him a little bit more.
So we have a rule. We don't talk about the Core Movement.
Really? Wow.
So me and him do not talk about cases. We don't talk about the Core Movement whatsoever. It would definitely have an effect, I would say, just because like, hey, like, if it's an emergency case and I have to leave a dinner, I have to leave.
Yeah.
Like, and I've told him before marriage, this was the one thing I said, I'm like, I'm so shocked you're marrying me. Like, don't, because, when it comes to the Core Movement, that's always going to be priority.
Absolutely.
And to this mission, I give my life.
Yeah.
And nothing is above it.
Absolutely.
So including him, my family, nobody matters to me.
Yeah.
It's just the movement.
Gotcha.
So that's my mission. So I will, and maybe in the beginning he was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not that I don't love you.
Yeah.
And obviously I do. And even to my family, it's the same thing. But when it comes to the movement, nothing matters to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And within your family, like, I mean, is this like a, like a very supported thing that you do? Like now, before, like, I mean, have there been various stages?
So I was anonymous for a year.
Yeah.
So I didn't show my face for a year. And my family was having dinner and like our cousins and everyone were there. And they were like, oh, did you hear about this girl?
Yeah.
She runs like this page and like, she's exposing this.
Yeah.
This is wild. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, it's me. So
Some
I kept
random uncle's yanking his collar. I was like, oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah, right? Like, so nobody really knew.
Yeah.
And then when they did find out, it was over an interview that I did, because I'm like, eventually it's going to come out. I'm not going to say it to them. For my parents, it was more of safety.
Yeah.
Concern.
Absolutely.
They didn't want like the judgment of society as well. The stuff that I'm dealing with, even though they know what I'm doing is right. Even my dad, he does Seva every year. He opens an eye camp in India, and he just got back for the 12th year, I guess.
Got it.
And like, it's just Seva is in our family,
Yeah.
but the way I'm doing it is kind of something that they're really, we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah,
it's so
gotcha.
hush hush at the house too.
Yeah.
Like if I'm wearing this, they're like, oh, either she went to go to an interview or
Yeah.
a case, or she was there or doing what. So it's like nothing, but they were at my gala.
Yeah.
They showed up and apparently my dad was crying the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's
That's nice.
Yeah.
He's proud. Yeah.
It's a proud moment, right? The thing is, they didn't realize how big it is.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
not on
yeah.
Instagram, right?
Absolutely.
So they're like, oh, they got the huniya,
Yeah.
like, and then pampa Maria
Yeah.
Yapi, like, and then when they went there, they're like, so
Wow.
all of these people paid to come see this?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Oh.
So it was kind of shocking for them.
Well, that's awesome. You know what I mean? It's on the safety aspect of it. Like, I would imagine you receive threats from burner accounts.
I've gotten stalked
Yeah.
several times.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, like following my
Tell us the
car.
story, Bill.
I got a call from someone in jail in India saying that, and they gave me my address, and they're
Okay.
like, we're gonna show up.
Yeah.
That was when I was exposing Paisu Cussing from the UK, which is also a preacher. He sexually
Okay.
assaulted 7 boys,
Oh, wow.
and he's really well known. Now he's cut his hair and yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of threats. The Dal Panth in India made a whole video on me and like saying a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of fake stuff about
Yeah.
me as well. Threat wise, I don't know. I feel like I'm still protected.
Yeah.
Even though I go everywhere alone. Even when I'm meeting abusers, like
Yeah.
I go alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's not something I'm afraid of.
Got it.
I'm like, if it's the truth, it shouldn't be something that,
Well, I think a lot of the people who are accused of this sort of thing or, do conduct it, they're not brave people.
Yeah.
They are cowards. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They are people who kind of prey on people that they can prey on.
Yeah,
like they
more
won't prey on
vulnerable.
people that,
Yeah.
will like give them some pushback or anything. And that's
They have
kind
a
of what that
target.
is.
They have
Yeah.
a target, divorced.
Yeah.
Usually vulnerable, someone that's gone through a recent death in the family.
And they probably
No support
push
system.
it, right? They probably speak to you the wrong way and see how you react first.
yeah.
And then like maybe give you a little taka and
they
see
start
how
with
you
threatening me, and usually I laugh.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
that's
yeah.
just how I am.
Yeah.
I just start laughing, and even when the guy called me from jail, and apparently he's a well-known gangster, not gonna name him, but everyone knows who it is.
Yeah.
And then so when I received a call from him, I just started laughing.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious? This like my life is a movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
are you actually calling me from jail right now to threaten me?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you can come over. I'll make you some jaw.
Yeah.
Like, that was my response to him. And my husband's standing there going, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, what am I supposed to say? I'm
Yeah.
like, you're giving me my address. I already know my address.
Yeah.
Like, what is this gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, for me, like, I don't know. You know how you have that gut feeling of like, something's gonna go wrong or like you're gonna get harmed.
Yeah.
I don't get that anymore. I don't have that feeling of being scared. My focus is the victim and who's reached out.
Yeah.
And how to protect them. And that's my only focus at that point. So for threat wise, I'm like, oh, if they're doing that, they're doing something wrong. So now I have to look into them as well.
Absolutely.
It's more of that.
So they're trying to protect themselves and they're trying to scare you off the trail.
Yeah, even a well-known business in Surrey, when we were having the gala, said that, hey, we will donate $20,000 to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, wow, this is great. Like, we need this money. This is where it's going to go. Like, and then just, if anything in the future comes out about me, just make sure that you don't, expose it. I'm like, okay, you weren't on my radar. Now you are. So now I'm like literally looking into this person. Man. Like, what have you done? Yeah. Right? So it's like, it's not about the money.
I think that's the craziest part of this is that like when some of these exposure cases come, I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there who like start taking inventory of like, okay, what the fuck have I done? Oh, yeah. I mean, what's comparable to this? Like,
am I going to get exposed? Girls use it as a threatening thing for their boyfriends now too. Yeah. I didn't know that.
I would imagine that would be a thing.
I was like, shit, that's not good. I don't want people using it as a threat.
But I guess if you maintain that sense of responsibility of like, okay, yeah, I'm going to look into it properly.
Oh yeah, of course.
Do all that, Unless you really hate a guy.
No, exposing. Okay, that's not true. Exposing is like the worst part of this. Yeah. It's like I don't sleep for days. I have to deal with so much.
That is that pit feeling problem.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, now am I gonna get a defamation case on me? I have 16. Now is it gonna be 17? Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't have any money to like fight this. Yeah. Is the public gonna support me if I put a GoFundMe up for this case? Like, all of that, like the background stuff. People just see the exposing, like, oh, like look at how many, look how viral it went, but they don't see the background, like the stuff that we have to deal with. And even the recent case that I exposed, the Jag guy, it is public, but there's so much more that people don't even know. Yeah. And it's like,
now, okay, I mean, let's get into the Jag case now. Now, this is your fan, eh? He's a massive OnlyFans fan. I have to keep him off me. I don't fuck with that guy anymore, but massive fan. I mean, like, we talked in the DMs. He sent me videos and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, full on. And not that often.
Okay.
But he sent me some videos here and there. Yeah. And, whatever. I just thought he's an influencer guy. Like, I mean, I don't really like these finance guru type, Chad type of influencers, but whatever. He's doing his thing. And, he'd always comment on my stuff. And, like, as soon as this story dropped, like, I got a wave, like, okay, you have to talk about this. You have to talk about this. I just sent Kyle guys a screenshot today where, like, sometimes when you get messages, but they go into your general and not your main one. Yeah. So this had been like 4 or 5 days, and some guy sent me like a message. He's like, hey, Jag just came out. He's always commenting on your stuff. You must be pretty shocked. And then like an hour later, it's like, how come you're not talking about it?
And it just came out.
Like 3 days later, he's like, you're a fucking piece of shit. He must be your friend. He's like, why are you covering up for him?
Oh God, people like jump into assumptions.
So I'm like, okay. So like this narrative is brewing. He's just the guy that said it. Now like they're kind of saying it. I was like, have some patience. We're coming in. Video. Let's talk about this case. I mean, what happened here?
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
What happened? Like, honestly, I was like, okay, when there is
and you heard about this a year ago.
A year ago, yes, but only 2 victims had come forward. I didn't have enough evidence. I didn't have a case where I could be like, hey, if it was defamation, I can fight it in court. I didn't have enough. I was like, if there's 2, there will be more, and hopefully they reach out. Absolutely. And usually, like, honestly, I don't know if it's manifestation. I always keep it in my back of my head, and I'm like, they're gonna come forward. They're gonna come forward, and then someone came forward, and they provided pictures and like everything. So then it started adding up, and then I started reaching out to the old victims. Yeah. And we always have a database, right? So very organized. So I reached out to them. I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. Are you willing to share your story now? And then it's like the 3 women came all together. So I was like, you know what? We're going to put all these 3 together. Yeah. And that's going to have the biggest impact. And then I'll be like, okay, now after, let's see how many more come out. Right now we have 8.
8.
Yeah.
8.
And these are 8 that are confirmed.
And are these 8 that have like the same degree? Because
Yes.
there's sexual assault, there's domestic
Same degree.
violence.
So these are the 8 that I'm talking about, sexual and domestic.
Okay.
Okay. With proof.
Got it.
And like videos and like everything. Okay. And like you saw the image on one of the girls, right?
Well, yeah, she was pretty badly beaten up.
Like,
yeah.
it was bad.
Yeah. I saw the one girl with the little bruise on the knee.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, she could have bumped into something.
Of course you would do that. Victim blaming to another level.
Victim blaming.
Yes, it is.
It's not victim blaming, but it's a bruise on the knee. I was like,
So yeah, let's just, yeah. Okay.
But I read everything and like, that's actually fucking make your stomach turn. And mind you, these are all allegations. Just to protect ourselves from defamation.
No, it's the truth. He can sue me.
Okay. It's the truth.
I want him to sue me.
Yeah?
So if he sues me, it'll be more public.
Oh, then
more
you can
people
get it
will
out.
know about it. They'll get justice.
Okay.
And then that's the goal.
Yeah.
Like, why not prove it in court as well?
I know when I read that stuff, like I'm telling you, like every now and again, I read some of these cases, like I start thinking about it. I was like, it's probably a little bit fabricated. This one, black and white, I was like, holy fuck, this guy did this
But
shit.
this is because you guys had proof of screenshots and whatnot. So if I didn't post those, then you guys would have questioned all of it.
Yeah,
more questions would have come out.
absolutely. I think so, yeah.
And then this is where I think, like, how much credibility does my platform need for like people to believe this? Or it's not even about credibility.
I think it's the way that the information was presented. It all made sense.
Yeah.
In terms of like, okay, yeah, this is what this guy's fucking doing here. And like,
there's
guys,
still people that question it. There's still people questioning it.
Well, I'm hearing things because like this is kind of, traveling around the ether. It was like, there's not 3 victims, there's only 1. And like, I was talking to someone, I was like, okay, even if there's only 1.
Yeah.
Even if there's only 1.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like, considering the entirety of the information that you have presented, there's rape.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. There's rape, there's beating up, there's verbal manipulation and
there's
abuse. There's threats of violence,
text messages,
and threats of exposing. There's like
blackmailing.
What's revenge porn? Basically, all that. Even if that was one.
In 1998, a girl was like, I was 17 years old, and this guy tried blackmailing me.
How old would he have been in 1988 or 1998?
Sure. I don't even know how old is he. How old is this guy?
He's got to be in his mid-40s.
Yeah,
I would assume.
something along those lines.
So he would have been like 18, 20, I don't know.
Yeah, and then there was another victim. There's just so many. Like, I don't even know how to start with this. Altogether, we've had 22 allegations, and the ones that I'm confirming are 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insane.
So it's like, are all of them lying? Or it's like, how much more questions can you put out there? Then people are like, oh, like, wasn't he married? Half these guys that are like this are like, we're separating. We're getting a divorce.
Yeah.
Or like, no, this is not working out anymore.
Yeah.
He's going to target people that are alone, that doesn't have a family here. He's done that. I've seen that pattern. Someone that's a single mom, or like someone that's just not, like, you can see that isn't strong enough or doesn't have a support system here. So he knows how to target.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, picking the victim, I guess, would be important for guys like that. But people like this they base themselves on leverage. You know what I mean? So they get you into like a false sense of security. And
Look
then
at his
once
videos.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But like what I mean is like they get you in on that, they gain your trust, and then like once they have that leverage on you, it's like, okay, I have some information on you, or I have like a explicit image or some information that's damning to you. Now I'm gonna push up on you. Now I'm gonna press you. And now I'm gonna like make your life more and more hell.
And the thing is, monstrous. When you let it go, like, I know, like, at that time you're a victim, so you do not really know, you're not thinking clearly, but when you keep letting it go and begging the person, they love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I've noticed that in cases.
Yeah.
They enjoy that. When you kind of step up for yourself.
Power, right?
Yeah, it's the power thing. And once you step up and like take action or even report it, then they actually do get scared. Think about it. This guy deleted his platform within 2 minutes of me posting.
Absolutely.
If he was truthful in any way, he would not have done that. He would have come forward at least. Yeah. Maybe not right now, but like would have. Or like, like done or said something, or like, these allegations are false or whatnot.
Yeah.
But none of that. But then I've also seen abusers that I have enough proof that they have like, done something wrong, and they're making videos.
Absolutely.
Like that Harinder Singh, the preacher, he made a whole video. Yeah. Right? That he's like, like, this is seva, this is like my preaching, there's misinterpretations about everything and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, What is like, I mean, the move, I guess, like he has to leave town, leave country. What the fuck is he going to do?
He made the victim's life a living hell.
Yeah,
Now
that's what I mean. No, he's got to go.
So now the Core Movement will.
Yeah.
So it's
100%.
one way or another, he's leaving.
Do you think it's like, can you get him on like criminal charges at this point now?
Yeah, that's the goal now.
Yeah.
So we've talked to a lawyer. And then we actually have someone in the community that's a city councillor in Abbey that has offered to fundraise for this.
Okay.
So pretty much there can be charges, like actually criminally as well.
Yeah.
Just because there's just so many victims.
And you know, the thing is, like, would this story be as big if he wasn't like kind of like a social media influencer or something like that? You know, how many other, like it's monstrous what he did, but he
was well
he
known.
Represents an idea of like how many guys are out there. There's probably dozens of uncles that are, you know, acting like this right now, that are taking advantage of, you know, like students in homes or other, you know, women that may be involved with another family and like, you know, they had an affair.
So domestic abuse right now, it's 94%. That's
what
happening.
Does that mean?
94% of people are in jail for domestic abuse.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So that's a big one. 92%, they're not even reporting it. So it's happening behind closed doors. With sexual abuse, it's 90% is within families.
Yeah.
And only 8 to 10% is when you're going to be dealing with it with a stranger. And out of those, how many are reporting?
Yeah.
In India, the case is so low. They barely report.
Yeah.
Here, people are reporting, but it doesn't go anywhere. So then what are you supposed to do? Now, it's come to the fact that the people rather go to us than go to the police.
Of course, yeah.
And it's like, why is the system failing victims of abuse? Why is it so helpful for abusers?
Yeah.
Right? Like, look, they're getting away. Like, you know, when I talk about defamation, and I'm like, you know what, sue me. Because the defamation aspect of things, like, it's so hard to prove in court.
Yeah.
You're barely going to win. There's only a 3% chance. And I'll get 2 years in jail, whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's rape victims, same situation, 3% chance, even if you go to court and go through the whole process. 3% will only be the ones that would be going to jail, and it's like 2 to 5 years.
Wow.
And this is like, you've ruined someone's life.
Absolutely.
So it's like, what do you like? I don't know what, like, someone has to take a stand where it's like, hey, you know what? Fuck the defamations. Stand for the truth.
Yeah.
See what you're going to do about this so there's no more victims in the future. Make that person stronger. Hopefully someone doesn't commit suicide. People are like, oh, apparently, like, he's suicidal. I'm like,
well,
do I care that he's suicidal? I'm sorry, I'm not. I don't.
Yeah.
I care about the victims. So if you're going to try to guilt trip me into removing a post, it's not going to happen.
I mean, naturally you would be suicidal. This is a pretty fucking, like, the chickens have come home to roost, you know, but you still did that shit.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just be like, oh, I'm suicidal because I got caught.
Everyone loves making that excuse.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, so now all of a sudden you're suicidal after you got caught and you're being exposed.
And you've gotten away with this, so you've been fucking jerking off to this idea for how long?
And the thing is, he's gotten away with it for so long that he kept going and it got more and more severe.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the hell, man? Like, how did you even, like, do this as a human?
Were any of the victims involved with, like, were they married with families and stuff like that, or was it more like there was a specific archetype?
So one of them was, but they had a working relationship, and he started blackmailing them at work. Okay, so that was a little bit different, and then the husband knew as well that this was going on, so he was aware of it eventually. Yeah, so that's when they started reporting it. So that's when they reported it and stuff. And then there was a girl that knew that he was married, but told that he was getting a divorce or getting separated. This is one thing I always say, like, to protect yourself. If the divorce or separation has not happened, don't get involved.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, that's not even the right time. Like, let them heal from their stuff first and then, like, go into that mess.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, don't ignore those red flags. Just because the guy's saying he's divorced or, like, gonna get divorced doesn't mean that. Maybe he's just trying to get into your pants.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, like, just consider the red flags. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, fuck. I mean, hopefully whatever severity of consequence, like, needs to come, you know, it has to go that way so that it at least places a stamp on, you know, that specific case that, like, other people will, like, kind of be a little bit weary. Do you think, like, something like that actually detracts from people committing the similar type of crime, or they're just the one? It scares
people.
It scares people, yeah.
They think twice. I know I've put that out there.
Yeah.
Like, it is a thing now where like, people think twice before making a step. But the people that are abusers, they're
Yeah, they're going to be abusers, and they'll find other places to do it.
Find other places or whatever. It's just a reminder that the core movement is here, and if a victim does reach out, then we're going to know everything, and then that's going to be a problem for you.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing I do put out strongly there, and I also say, like, I'm not afraid of what kind of power or authority you do have.
Yeah.
Because most of these cases, they are well-known people.
Absolutely.
They are prominent figures. They have a lot of money. Like, there is a lot of power and status in all of this. So when it comes to exposing, that's the last thing they want, because they will ruin everything for them.
So Jag was, while he did have a little bit of motion online, I wouldn't say he was like a beloved figure. I wouldn't say that.
I actually haven't watched his stuff.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I got a lot of people within peers, I guess, within the community.
Oh yeah, in the community.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I did not know so many people hated him.
Yeah. A lot of people
he owes money to. A lot of people he's beefed it with, and I'm just like, holy crap! Like, there's not one person that has said something good about you. Did you see his yearbook?
I did.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I'd actually love to read that right now. That yearbook quote was sick. And you know what's amazing is that
it was not sick. It was not sick at all.
In hindsight, it's ridiculous.
Literally sick, yeah.
In hindsight, it's ridiculous, but somebody pulled that out, posted it online.
Oh my God, the
Netflix documentary thing, people are actually brilliant out there.
I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, yo, how are people, how are they getting all of this information? I don't even know. The yearbook, how long ago was that?
No, it's a hot topic. I've talked to dozens of people about
that was
this
the goal with
week.
the post.
Yeah.
I was really upset. I was at the office at Gurdwara. First, I was praying and I was making the post. And I'm just like, you know what? This is 20 times worse than what's been shown.
Yeah.
But you know what? This will be enough for the community to be like, what the hell is going on?
Are you able to share any further details about it that haven't been kind of brought up yet? Or do you...
Underage.
Yeah? Oh my God.
So women...
Well, I saw that he was talking, it was just a post that said he was taking pictures of 14-year-olds or something like that.
Yeah, so that's a parents that reached out, pretty much saying that he was taking pictures of them at Cactus, and one of them, he tried to hit on one of them as well, and it was addressed, and the police got involved in it. I don't know that one personally, because it's just someone that posted anonymously, so I'm not, I can't confirm that. Yeah. But with the cases that we're getting, there's a lot of underage. So now there was a woman that was 48 years old that came out and is saying that she was sexually assaulted. So there's things like that. So it's I don't know, what type of stuff has been going on in the family or how, but it's a woman that's 48 years old is now reaching out, sharing this information. Yeah. And now there's other underage women coming forward about him as well. It's what are we supposed to do here? Right?
Well, nothing. I mean, you have to do what you have to do, and then the cops have to. I mean, the justice system has to take its.
I'm sorry, I have no hope in the justice system.
Yeah, pretty
That's
shitty.
Why. Yeah, it's a pretty shitty.
Cops can only fuck you over. They can't really help you.
Yeah. Even if I bring them 20 victims, they'll still be not enough evidence. Yeah. Right. That's the goal is to get there.
I think the shame is pretty big punishment, though. You know what I mean?
Shame is for a person like this. That's what I could tell, at least.
But I mean, yes, he moves to Winnipeg. It's less.
I have supporters there too.
But what I mean is you move to some buttfuck place or whatever, and then you're okay.
The core movement's not going to leave him alone.
Yeah.
That's it.
So going back to that now, or if we can kind of move on there, you have a figure who's not so beloved. Now, let's say an accusation comes out on a beloved figure. Oh, God. Let's say Harinder Singh.
Yep.
Beloved figure.
I listened to his main one, the main shabad. Sukh Tera Ditta Leye.
That's a banger of a song.
It's not a song. But people are saying it is like a song.
It is, because it's the way that they do it. It's like a concert.
It's which they're not supposed to do. Yeah. But something our generation at least listens to, right? And when I found out, I was like, oh God. Yeah. Now which one am I going to listen to?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I think one of the funny things about our religion or Pant or whatever is as soon as you have someone who is accused of something like this, immediately it's he's an RSS agent just to make us look bad. Like Sikhs couldn't possibly have a few bad apples, you know. They have to be Hindu propaganda machines.
You're not gonna believe it. So when I exposed Pai Sukha Singh, which was in the UK, just a well-known preacher as this guy, I have a phone call conversation that I recorded, by the way, with him, where he kind of admits to certain certain things. And then he was like, you can be a part of the Panj Pyare to give me a punishment, but don't make this public.
Okay, let's get some background on that one. Let's get some background on that, because I don't know too much about that
one
case.
is he sexually assaulted 7 boys, and they all came forward, and he did it through Sikhi, through preaching, touched them inappropriately when they were 17, 16, 22, 24. Yeah, so
okay,
yeah, that's the ones I remember on the top of my head right now.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it just
wasn't mouth to mouth Simran.
Yeah.
But
probably.
Yeah. But there was other stuff.
Seems pretty light comparatively.
Yeah, he broke someone's jaw as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there's images that I posted, X-rays that I posted up from that victim as well.
Gotcha.
But people were so quick to like judge the victims.
Yeah.
And like, because they're nobodies in a sense, right?
Yeah.
And then they started judging me. Then they got the Dal Panth involved, making videos of me and like, you know, like she's doing this because she's Hindu promoter, or like, you know, I was like, wait,
she's
what?
here to bring down the Panth.
Yeah, I woke up, it was 5 a.m. I'm watching this, I'm like, all these Nahangs are standing there and they're with their karpans and then just shit talking me.
Wow.
And I'm like, shit, can I go to India? I need my suits. Like, this is a problem. Like, that was my focus. Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, and they have no idea. And the fucked up thing is, in that crew, one of them was a victim. And they're still standing there defending this guy because they're like, this guy's really well connected.
Yeah.
And then, he was well connected. He's getting people in jail to call me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It kind of turns into this like ugly like threat system, political influence, shit like that.
But they will never meet me in person. So I was in their town. I was like, okay, now let's meet. Like, you said all this stuff online. Now, like, let's meet. Yeah. None of them meet. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought you were actually serious.
Well, they're probably worried about cameras and fucking exasperating the situation.
Yeah.
You might have someone with you.
But I told them I would come alone.
Well, I mean,
I guess they didn't believe me. I guess they didn't believe that I would come alone.
I mean, whoever believes that, you know, if I had a nickel for every time someone's told me or I've told someone to meet me alone.
God.
It's like, fucking meet up with me, buddy.
Oh, God.
You know, you can't believe that threat ever.
Yeah, I guess.
So with Harinder Singh now, I mean, the Nirvar, which Jatha, Nirvar Jatha?
KJ.
Is it RKJ?
What is it? No.
Is it NKJ. Nirvar.
I'm like,
Okay, Kirtan Jatha. I guess so. So this guy is like a pretty beloved, like pretty positive guy. Like, you know, very.
Yeah, do you see how calm he is?
Very like, you know.
Well, I need to learn. Like, like, you know, like.
Omnipresence, you know, just very calming.
That's
and then,
even more scary though.
Well, this is how these guys get you. They're very welcoming, right?
Yeah.
They lull you into that false sense of security and then they can start telling you everything.
Yeah.
Now, if you've studied cults or anything like that.
Oh, we're dealing with a few cults here.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But they bring you in on that and then they make it calm and then they decide like, okay, we're going to start preaching this stuff. Now, if people haven't seen the video or listened to the audio, he's basically just like coercing a younger guy. Apparently he was 24 at the time and the kid was
18. Apparently. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it's legal.
Well,
I guess it's legal for them, you know, to do.
Abuse of power.
Abuse of power, sure.
And you're using Sikhi as a way of touching someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think it's legal. It's called grooming.
Is that grooming though, or is it with kids? It's grooming?
No. So you can be groomed as a 25-year-old.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what your age is. So if they're gonna bring you into a cult, for example, they can present you in a certain way. They can present themselves in a certain way, and they'll be a certain type of way with you to lure you in.
Got it.
So that's their goal,
like
to get you in.
Yeah.
And once you're in, then it's like there's no going out.
Yeah.
And that is the reality with a lot of things. And you get shunned out.
Yeah. And in this audio, he's talking about like touching the guy's dick and
how it grows.
Yeah, and how it grows, and then doing mouth to mouth Simran.
And then
and he's saying like, oh, like everything that we do within us stays within us. So more of this curtaining and shrouding.
And no bibi allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another thing he said. It's like, what is he doing? Like,
hey man, gay thing's been out here.
Yeah, but what he's doing is sexual abuse. Like, that's something else.
So now it gets to that, and like I've seen, prominent figures within the community actually defend him and be like, oh, well, he's actually done so much good for the community. We should let this one slide. He was younger. He didn't know what the hell was going on as well.
So I've done so much good for the community, and all of a sudden I start abusing my power and manipulating people or doing certain things. So you're still going to be happy with the fact that I did good in the community and then leave the fact of all the horrible crimes I'm doing?
Yeah.
Make that make sense.
I think the point was that he did that shit when he was younger. Now he's gotten on the right path.
When's younger? Okay, so this morning I got another person reach out saying he was 8 when he was sexually assaulted by him. So I'm going to be posting that today. He's reaching out and he's sharing his story. But like they're all afraid. Like dude, these are people that are not connected to each other. They're not victims that are friends.
Yeah.
Like these are people that are not connected that are coming forward. And this guy's abusing his power and you're wearing the Khalsa attire and doing it. It's bedbi. Yeah. It's disrespect.
Absolutely.
It's you're showing something, like you're wearing our Khalsa attire and you're doing evil with it.
Yeah.
That's like the worst of the worst.
Absolutely.
Like, and that's when it comes to rape. Why do I take it more seriously when it comes to preachers? Because you have a responsibility, right? I have a responsibility with the Kaur Movement. I can't fuck up. I can't make a mistake. I can't ruin someone's life. And if I do, you have to take accountability. The same goes with these people. Why can't they take accountability? Because they know their followers are so blindly following them that they'll get away with it. I've been reaching out to New Jersey and I'm like, you're gonna have him there. I'm gonna have 200 people outside if he comes and like does his katha and stuff there. I'm not gonna allow it. And then they were like, no, and now I got it canceled. But it's like, how many gurdwaras can I reach out to? I have other cases to focus on. And it's like the public needs to show outrage, not just under comments. That's like that's awareness or like supporting the victim. But like there's so many of us that are saying that we're good. Why aren't we doing anything?
100%.
Yet we go into gurdwaras and preach. Oh, like, see, galt nahi saath dena, like, stand up for the truth, injustice, this, like all the stuff we read in Gurbani, but nobody's following it. It's like, what the hell? Like, what's the point? I don't get it. Because I don't think I'm, like, to be honest, I don't even think like I'm a person that can say like I'm fully like sick or like, like I can't do what they do. I can't wear the bana. I can't like have that discipline that they have. It's not in me right now. Maybe in the future it is, but right now it's not. And it's like, now that you have that, you're going to use that to like harm people.
But it's such a common thread of like people who are in like high positions of, I guess just religious institutions.
Yeah, I guess.
Like there's always like this like seedier side of it where like people will like abuse that power, and a lot of it kind of comes from.
They act like they're God, so they'll tell. We had a case.
That power comes in.
We had a case like that. There was a guy that was pretty much saying, "I'm God, and if you have sex with me, your life will be more fulfilled.
Yeah,
and you won't be depressed anymore.
Yeah."
And then there's these women that actually believe it because they go to his kirtan, they go to his stuff, they go to like listen and everything.
I think Osho had that power.
Yeah,
but he was pretty upfront about it. He's like, "Yeah, we're fucking here."
Yeah, exactly. At least he was honest about it. Like instead of our community over here saying, "Nahi, main to kuch kita hi nahi." Like, I'm innocent. God.
I mean,
like, how evil can you be?
It really is fucked. And the thing is, like, I don't think, like, what he's doing himself is evil. I think where it gets gross is the fact that people are protecting him because they're trying to protect the bottom line of how much money he's bringing in, how much, like...
Oh, yeah, the gurdwaras are making money every time he comes in.
Every time he's coming through, so it's kind
They're thinking
of
about
like,
the golak instead of, some gurdwaras.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are thinking about the Golak before thinking about what he's done. They're like, these are old allegations. Is there new ones?
Yeah.
If there's new ones, then we can
They're
cancel.
the footage.
But there was no AI back then.
Yeah.
So then how is that doctored? Like, just like make it make sense. Like some people like just need to like smarten up a little bit and just like not follow blindly. I say that about me. Like I'm like, hold me accountable, ask me questions. Like, don't blindly follow me.
Yeah.
Like, like it's not something you should just do. And it goes for everyone else too.
I think what it is that like us still as, a Panth, as a religion, we feel this like very collectivist attitude that like negativity against one means negativity for the entire community, which I really think like just humanity in general, we have to kind of get rid of that idea as collectivism. Like, yeah, you're going to have some shit people. And just because they're shit people that are in high positions, I don't think that reflects poorly upon anyone. And I think as soon as we can kind of get away from that, that's when we can start actually holding people to more accountability and be like, yo, like, you're fucking up. Like, you shouldn't be in that position of power because
people say I'm anti-sick because I'm only exposing the sick community.
100%.
Well, those are the people reaching out to
of
me.
Course,
I'm
that's
not
our community.
And my goal is to focus on my community first. Our community has gotten so weak right now. I want ours to get stronger and get the help they need or whatever trauma they've had, and then we'll go focus on other communities. I want to focus on mine first. We need to be stronger ourselves before we can go help others.
No, 100%. I mean, it really is that. Like, there's other people who are dealing with, like, I'd say white communities or black communities. Like, they have their own things. Like, we should be solving the issues in our community first.
Yeah, they
because,
focus
like,
in their stuff too. Like,
we have this, like, fucking, what's this word? Like, I want to almost say, like, this ego about, like, oh, like, Sikhi is the best. And, like, I guess, yeah, it's purity. Like, we got a great thing going on. We got great tenants to look after. But
we're destroying it slowly, though.
Yeah, but that doesn't, it's so fractured now. Like, there's so many different, little segments, like.
But if we don't call them out, then we're not going to be able to stop them. And then there's going to be more of them.
Absolutely.
So the more we call out, the more afraid they're going to get. And then the more, hopefully, they'll eventually stop. But, like, if we don't call them out and we're hush about it, we're actually worse in the whole situation, I believe. And then silencing the victims in our community, for example. Oh, dasna nahi tera byan nahi hona.
Yeah.
Or, like, nothing's, if you tell anybody, like, now, embarrassment ho jani hai.
Yeah.
Right?
Embarrassment.
I knew the moment I said it, I was like, God damn, तेरे कोई embarrassment है नहीं? If everyone knows that. But so like it's just sad to see that your own family and loved ones don't support you and they'll judge you for it as well. Like, how are kids gonna come forward and share their stuff?
Yeah.
But the thing is, what are the parents gonna do when they find out their own brother or their own taya or their own, like, masar or whatever has done this to their child?
Yeah.
They don't know what to do.
Absolutely. I think, like, that's that ignorance is bliss, right? Nobody wants to say that, oh, this happened within my family or anything like that.
It's happened in all families. I'm sorry. Like, it is so common in our community.
See it,
One
right?
in three women get sexually assaulted.
Well, like,
yeah.
I think you just see, let's put the woman thing aside, but, like, like, certain people who, like, struggle with, drugs or alcoholism, like.
So men, that's a big thing right now, suicide.
Yeah.
Men are more prone to committing suicide than women are. Women talk about it more than men do.
Yeah.
And that, again, is a stigma of it. So we have men reaching out, but do you rarely see any cases of men coming forward, except for these preacher ones now, recently? There's no man that wants to say, like, hey, a woman has done this to me.
Yeah.
Or, like, there's men that have been physically abused in their homes. They don't lay a hand on their woman, but the woman does.
Yeah.
They don't come forward. They need the help and support. They don't get it. Like, and in our community, tu kate emotional hui janna hai.
Yeah,
like, that typical stuff.
You gotta man up.
Yeah, man up. And that's the thing. And it's like, then they go to drugs and, like, alcohol and whatnot. Yeah. It's just a cycle.
Yeah.
Honestly, we've helped abusers too.
Yeah.
So abusers have reached out saying, hey, like, I beat up my wife. Like, I need help.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do this anymore. And
you first ask them, "Tenu koi embarrassment hai?"
I try not to judge. But I need to get you that sweater. Yeah. So it's just everyone has their stuff. Everyone has made mistakes. Owning up to it, not repeating it, that's the biggest thing.
Absolutely. I wanted to get into your brief time with the 604 pred catchers.
Oh yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah, because I went on a few stings with them as well, and
you did?
I did. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. No, I like what those kids are doing. Like, I think it's a little bit too jacked out for me, for lack of a better term. Yeah. I think it's a little bit too what's the word? It's made for content, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is a massive problem, at the same time within our community. Why do you think our community has a lot of these cases, especially with people who are coming in from India for the most part, from what it looks like in that content? I mean, I know there's plenty of other people, it doesn't matter what color you are, people are doing that kind of shit.
So the one that I did with them, the reason I did that one was because first of all, they go to the Gurdwaras.
Yes. So
that was my main thing. Like, they're stepping into Gurdwaras and they're doing this. Second, I was like, there's so many rare men out there right now that do what I do. So just seeing a group of men kind of get involved and calling it out, I'm like, your way of doing it, I'm not going to judge you for it. This is what you're doing. This needs to be spread. I don't care if you're doing it in a comedy way, as long nobody else watches if it's serious, right? At the same time too. So I'm like, whatever way you're doing it, I'm here to like help. My goal is, again, if you're an abuser, you need to be called out. You need to, there has to be consequences. When it comes to the way they do it, I feel like they're going to learn. For sure. It's their first time and they're getting into it. At least they're calling it out. Why it's all Indian community. In India, if this is happening, you get beat up on the spot. Yeah. Girls there are a little bit different. They either slap you right away or like something happens in that sense there. Or like luring and stuff happens there a lot as well. Like guys there, they're all in like all girls schools, all guys schools. They're more restricted there. So like I feel like sexually they're really restricted there too. So now all of a sudden they're coming here and they have all this freedom. Tinder, Bumble, all these sites that they can go on. Porn's available here. Porn's not even available there. Really? Is it not? I thought it isn't anymore from what I was told. Okay, I don't know. Like there's certain things that they've just cut out completely there. So like all of that now, all of a sudden you have it here. Even the girls that come from there, like they weren't able to wear these type of clothes. They weren't able to go out. They weren't able to go clubbing.
I was at this holy party yesterday. Fuck.
How was that?
Yeah, I mean, check. There's some interesting stuff going on there.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, but all that freedom they didn't have in India, they all of a sudden have here. That's why I feel like students are more vulnerable. Another thing is they know the law here is shit. I think the guys that are luring these women and stuff like that, I think so.
You think that's what it is?
I think that has a part of it. Like who's going to report it? What is going to happen?
Like the basty?
The basty.
The basty is fucking pretty crazy because like, I mean, I've gone, like, even remember Surrey Creep Catchers? I went on one with them too.
Oh, really? Shit.
And like,
you need to join the Kaur Movement.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's ways we could work together. But like, we went on this thing and like, I don't know if like he was thinking, oh, like the cops are gonna get me or whatever it was, but like you see someone have the worst day of their life, you know what I mean? And you just like, you know, like you present them this information, you're trying to message like a 13-year-old, right?
It makes me feel so happy when they get caught.
And the guy's got this fucking wrench in his stomach or there's knots in his stomach and just like fucking
But the thing is like
you were gonna do that shit though.
Yeah, you were gonna do it. Second, underage, you know it's illegal. You know it's illegal in India too. So don't act all innocent. Second, like they just think it's a gori or like you know sometimes it's like that they'll just get away with it as well. So that's another thing that they have going on. They are uneducated in the matter too. So some people try to say like, oh, mainu pata nahi saga, like I couldn't be with her. Like she said yes. She gave consent. So like I feel like that's also like they know what they were doing wrong. Yeah, of course. But the guy that we did, he was having gut feelings the moment he walked in. He's like, I don't feel so good. Yeah. It's like you ignored all of those gut feelings and you still came here.
100%.
So it's like, you know, it's an illness, I believe. Like I feel like if it's underage, especially, like definitely, and then meeting young boys and doing that and having a wife and a child at home, like I'm sorry, like you deserve to be exposed. Yeah. And then they start using the whole, oh, main suicide commit kar dena hai, like all of them do that. Most of them do that. They'll start messaging saying that. And I'm like, I just don't care.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you get in trouble if somebody does take that step to take their own life though?
No.
No?
A prime example is the Mandeep Kaur case in New York. She made a video of herself saying that her husband is the reason that she's committing suicide, and she had 2 daughters, and there's videos I posted up of him strangling her, keeping her in the house, and like it was really, really bad domestic abuse, and he's roaming around freely. To be honest, I don't give a fuck if a guy that is harming victims, underage kids, like it could be our children in the future, right? And if he decides to kill himself, like I don't care. I just don't. Sure. I can't pretend here and be like, oh, I'm gonna feel guilty or whatever.
There's no legal implications for someone?
I don't think so. They might be able to take me, but it's like not like I killed him.
Mental
torture.
Mental torture, whatever the hell they call it. I mean, there probably will be some like weird laws or some shit like that. Online bullying, is that what that constitutes?
Maybe, online bullying. Yeah, but if it's not defamation, if it's the truth. Yeah. So it's like, to me, it's protecting more people.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, this one's gone.
It
On
really
to the
is.
next case.
It really does get to an institute of like, fuck him, like
If we
whatever.
didn't expose Jag, you think he wouldn't have been doing it to other girls?
Oh, he'd be doing it now.
Yeah, exactly.
The hotel party would be happening.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, if I'm preventing that and you're going to use suicide and then actually kill yourself, like, too bad, too sad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just too numb to this shit anymore.
Yeah, I guess
I'm just
so.
over it. Like,
what have been certain criticisms of yourself kind of overall, like in this thing? I know Jyoti K was beefing with you, but just that's a little messier. Whatever, we can
over
leave that aside. She's beefed with me a couple of times.
Oh yeah, I know, I saw that. Yeah. Who hasn't she beefed with?
But overall, I mean, what is your kind of like, what do your criticizers? Critics say about you.
So the recent one was I was working with Amritpal Mero, and he's involved in like the whole, like, he just got arrested and his team got arrested, and I used to be with them in India working on cases. So that was a big one. So apparently I'm a murderer now. So
you're part of that. You're an accomplice there.
Yeah, because I was there 2 months prior to this happening and whatnot. I don't control what they do. They're in a different zone or whatever they're about. I'm not. Like, my focus again is just cases. So if you're gonna help me with a case, I don't care what your background of anything is. I'm gonna be like, hey, you're helping with me with a case, and that's the goal. With them, it was the same thing. They were the only ones going with me, doing cases together the way that I do it, confronting the abusers and whatnot, and they were about it, right? When it came to rape and sexual abuse, and there's not men that out there that are like this are able to do it. So when the news came out, I was at a party and I was at a Jago party dancing, and then I saw the thing and I was like, oh, this is so fake. Like, who made this? I put it on the side, danced for 2 hours. Thank God I did that for 2 hours, because after that the whole month was like miserable. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like, what happened?
Well, they killed that girl because she was like just making videos, content, talking.
So there's more
shit.
to it.
Is there more to it? Because I actually wanted to get into that as like why a lot of the Pantha does like to kind of focus on these jesters and fucking people like that who are like kind of just, it doesn't seem that deep. Like, people are talking shit, but there's bigger fish to fries.
Oh yeah. So she was actually getting sick women raped.
Oh wow.
So she had WhatsApp groups. She was recruiting underage.
So how come that information's not out there?
They didn't think that it's something that they have to promote.
I think that,
and I was like, yes, you do. Like, that's like the main thing that you should be saying. But the thing that really pissed me off was, though, like, we've dealt with so many sexual abuse like cases, and severe ones where like underage like kids have been raped, and like, we've put them in jail in India, and it's like, but why her? And then when I started questioning and got into it a little bit more, I see that their religious side of it was her using that name when it wasn't her name, her targeting our women in our community, and there were just way more to it. So there's a lot of people, they just don't know. But yeah, there was that. I
think that second part of it that's been left omitted
is really necessary.
Definitely way worse. Someone talking shit and talking bad about the religion. There's bigger issues.
So
I guess it does.
What they were doing, what that girl was doing even online, she had kids in the background. And she's saying all that stuff that's inappropriate. You're not even allowed to do that. So it's like, everything that was going on was illegal.
It was rather vulgar.
Yeah, it was vulgar. There was a lot of illegal stuff because there was underage kids involved in her videos. So yeah, that's a problem there. And they thought it was very concerning because there's more women like that there. There's like 5-6 of them. And I've met a few of them there, and they're not normal individuals. Like, they are doing way more than what they're showing on social media. The harm that's happening there is way more severe. But the way they took someone's life, of course not. Like, that's not appropriate. That's not right. You can't end someone's life. But in their minds and their heads, I don't know what they're thinking about it. When you're a religious extremist and all you see is rape, bedbi, that it means that. So
fair enough.
And again, I can't judge for that. They had their stuff that, like, think about it. Their Nahang's completely different than me, don't even know English. And I'm here, Surrey girl, met with them and started doing cases together. We did 250 cases together, and he's helped with so many. And I feel like, you know what? This one thing you did wasn't worth it. It just wasn't.
Fair enough. Closing thoughts.
Then koi embarrassment hai nahi. I need to get you that sweater. I need to get you the Sing Movement sweater as well. Closing thoughts would be support people
Yeah.
that are going through this type of abuse. Don't victim blame. Stop questioning them.
Yeah.
If they're coming out after so many years, be there, be kind. The worst is you don't know what's going in someone's life, man.
Yeah.
Like, I walk around happy and stuff too. The people that don't know that I run the Core Movement, like, look at the stuff that I'm dealing with, right?
Yeah.
And like, look at, like, we don't know how many other people are dealing with it. And when it comes to sexual and domestic abuse, it's a long-term healing process.
Yeah.
So you have to be kind.
And you know what, actually, I wanted to add on that is, like, I think within the community, as, you know, influencers or people who have influence or whatever it is, like, we do have a certain responsibility to maybe people out there that might not be able to talk to their own family, friends, parents, whatever it is. Like, I want people to know that they could reach out. You know,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know how to help you, but I bet you I could put you in touch with someone who can definitely help you, right?
Get in touch with
Yeah.
us. There's so many other organizations. Like, you know, we're not charging you anything.
Yeah.
We're here to listen. It's confidential. And
Well, I'll probably talk about it.
but like, you know, like, well, don't reach out to him.
Yeah.
Like,
If you tell me don't say anything to anyone, then I won't. You know?
Okay, yeah. Make sure you say that. But with us, it's confidential. We don't say it to anybody else unless you
Yeah.
give us consent.
But as a joke, no. No, I'm kidding.
Oh God. So I don't know. Like, I just feel like if there are people, you know, there's platforms
Yeah.
for our community now, and we're standing strong with it. We have
Yeah.
an office at the Shmesh Darbar now, so you can come there and chat with us as well. If you're not comfortable with us, we can provide you other resources. But I feel like everyone should have resources. Like, you should have some in your mind that, you know, like, hey, you can go to Option Society, you can go here, like, you know, and just be there, a listening ear. You don't have to give advice.
Yeah.
You can just, listening is like the biggest thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Fair
it's
enough.
just, you know, be
Yeah.
there.
People should reach out, though. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's super important, especially with just these. There will be more cases. This is a never-ending battle,
Oh, yeah.
unfortunately. So, yeah, reach
I
out,
wish
talk
there's
to
going to
someone.
be a day where the Core Movement doesn't exist and isn't needed. Very optimistic,
Yeah.
but hopefully.
Yeah, no,
That's the
I
goal.
think, honestly, I think we're just scratching the surface with our own community. I think that
It's
shit,
a long battle.
like, once that boomer generation's gone, then I think our generation's not really going to have that same, like, level of shame to, like, you know, keep things as hush-hush. I think we'll be a lot more open to speak about
But
things.
our generation has to heal.
Yeah.
Our generation
Yeah.
has gone through a lot.
Yeah.
And the healing is what's needed
Yeah.
for us to be good with our kids in the future as well.
100%.
Because even though we say we're not going to be like our parents, a lot of thinking,
yeah.
a lot of ways we are,
Yeah.
we do reflect where our
You
parents
fall
are.
back into those patterns eventually.
So just we're that generation that does need to heal. There's a lot of alcohol involved in our generation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues in this sense. And a lot of people in our community, in our generation, has gone through it and have been told to be hush hush.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that as well. So just making sure that our community and our generation heals, so the future children, you know, are protected and are told what bad touch and good touch is, and like, you know, what you can come to us and share anything with us and have that open dialogue that we didn't get with our parents.
Absolutely. All right, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.